In 1800, only about 3% of humans lived in cities. Today, more than half of us do, and the United Nations projects that number will hit nearly 70% within 30 years. That shift is called urbanization, and AP Human Geography Unit 6 is testing whether you can explain why people leave farms for cities, what happens when they arrive faster than housing can be built, and how this single process reshapes everything from politics to pollution. Urbanization is the process by which an increasing share of a population lives in cities. The keyword is share, not raw population. A country can be growing in total population while staying mostly rural, which is not urbanization. Urbanization specifically means the percentage of people living in urban areas is going up. When an AP STEM mentions rural to urban migration, megacity growth, infrastructure strain, or informal settlements, the answer is almost always urbanization. Migration to cities follows the same logic as all migration. Push factors operate at the rural origin and push people away. Pull factors operate at the urban destination and pull people in. Drought, rural poverty, land pressure, mechanization replacing farm labor, and weak rural schools all push people out. Factory jobs, higher wages, better hospitals, universities, and reliable transit all pull people in. Strong AP answers always label which factors are pushing and which are pulling. Memorize this fast decision rule, and you can answer almost any urbanization MCQ in seconds. If the problem is at the rural origin, it is a push factor. If the opportunity is at the city, it is a pull factor. If the result is something happening after migration, like congestion, sprawl, or informal housing, it is an effect, not a cause. Many students lose points by mislabeling effects as pull factors, so always check whether the clue happens before or after migration. The College Board loves to test how urbanization looks different across economic contexts. Developed countries like the United States and Japan are already highly urbanized, so growth shows up as suburbanization, redevelopment, gentrification, and sprawl, rather than first-time mass rural migration. Developing countries like Nigeria, India, and Brazil are still in the rapid phase, where Lagos, Mumbai, and Sao Paulo grow faster than housing or sewer systems can keep up. Different stages, different problems, different FRQ answers. Rapid urbanization creates both opportunity and crisis. The benefits include dense labor markets, services at scale, innovation hubs, and cultural exchange. The costs include housing shortages, informal settlements, traffic congestion, pollution, infrastructure strain, and rising inequality. AP graders specifically reward students who name both sides of the ledger rather than treating urbanization as purely good or purely bad. Always cite at least one benefit and one cost when the prompt asks about effects. The strongest urbanization FRQ answers follow a four-step chain that AP graders recognize instantly. Name the cause, like rural to urban migration driven by factory jobs. Describe the spatial pattern, like rapid concentration of population in the urban core. Connect the pattern to a consequence, like housing demand outpacing supply and producing informal settlements. And finally, mention one planning response if the prompt asks for it, like investment in affordable housing or public transit. Cause, pattern, effect, response. On any urbanization-free response, the move that locks in full credit follows 5 steps in order. Define urbanization as an increase in the share of a population living in cities. Identify a push or a pull factor that is driving the migration. Describe the spatial pattern of rural to urban movement. Connect that pattern to one specific consequence, like housing pressure or congestion. And finally, Distinguish between developed and developing context if the prompt provides a country clue. Hit those 5, and you walk out with the full rubric.
You can drill 22 flashcards and 8 AP-style practice questions on urbanization in under 15 minutes using the link below. That is the difference between a 3 and a 5. Subscribe for new AP videos every week.